Well, you've come up with some brilliant ideas as to why we need a Mastermind Alliance mentorship, accountability, support and network group. But where are we going to find a support network like that, in which we can tap into the experience and knowledge of other people and leverage their knowledge and experience? Where are we going to find a support group where we can find people who can mentor us, especially people who perhaps have been on the property journey that we want to go on and who can help us make that journey far more quickly and far more easily, and people who are going to mentor us and keep us on track and make sure that we do the things that we know that we need to do. Well, you're probably not going to be surprised to hear that I'm going to say that it's here in Peterborough, but more specifically it's in the VIP programme. And here is a photo of some of the 300 plus VIP members, and you can see they're all looking pretty pleased with themselves, and for good reason, because many of them have achieved outstanding results in a relatively short time, many of them starting with little or no property experience, and some of them starting even with no funds or even no money at all. Now, some of you were asking about the VIP during the breaks, so is it okay if I tell you a little bit about the VIP now? And also, why? Because I came here 16 months ago on a JV day, just like today, just like you have, why I'm still here 16 months later talking to you and actually presenting the JV day, because that's got all to do with me joining the VIP and what the VIP has done for me. So is it okay if I tell you about that as well? Yeah? Brilliant. Okay. If you're like most people, it may be that you have your own insecurities and doubts as to whether you can achieve what you want to achieve in property. But the key thing is to be part of a support network, to be part of an environment where you're going to be encouraged and supported and helped to achieve your goals. And I was saying just a moment ago about some of the outstanding results that some of the VIP members have achieved. And just take, for example, Ross Bailey. Now, Ross came here at the age of 17, and he did exactly the right things. He joined the VIP, he was mentored by Mark, they agreed a plan of action, and he undertook those actions. And Ross, at the age of 17, by doing that, was able to raise JV finance from not just one, but two £200 million millionaires. And he was able to raise £100,000 worth of JV finance from each one. Now, as Rob says, Ross is a nice guy, a very likeable young man, but he's not a superhuman. But what he did do is he did the right things. He joined the VIP, he got himself the mentor, he did what his mentor told him to do, and he tapped into the network and was able to raise the JV finance. Now, I don't know about you, but I could certainly use £200,000 worth of JV finance. How about you? Yeah. Well, this is surely an encouragement as to what can happen when you immerse yourself in the right environment. And what about Peter Ivaniszewski, who now readily admits that he's unemployable, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't need to be employed. Peter came here as a 23-year-old, joined the VIP. Again, he was mentored, he agreed his action steps, he undertook those actions, and he put together a £2.3 million property portfolio with £500,000 worth of equity and a £4,500 net cash flow per month. Who here would like a £4,500 per month net cash flow? Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of cash flow which can release you from your job. Well, Peter did all that at the age of 23, starting only with a student loan. But Peter's actually taken it to a whole new level, because what he also did is that he JV'd with Rob and he helped to put together the Be Your Own Bank CDs, which I know that a lot of you here today have listened to. Now, apart from the obvious benefits of giving Peter more income and a passive income, because Progressive have sold many thousands of copies of that CD set, and Peter would have got a cut for every single sale. But more than that, it elevated Peter to the position of expert. And he found, as would you if you were in that position, that rather than having to chase people looking for deals, rather than having to chase people looking for JV finance, people started coming to him because he was the expert, and they were offering him deals and offering him finance. And through that he is able to leverage his property business, and particularly his deal packaging business. Now the reason why he is able to do that is because he JV'd with Rob, and Rob is very committed to the VIP program. And if you were to join the VIP program and you had a speciality or a niche or a particular interest in a particular aspect of property investing, and you felt that you could produce a similar kind of product, then I'm sure that Rob would love to JV with you on that. But that opportunity is only going to be open to people who are on the VIP. Now I should say, before I go any further, that I'm not trying to sell you anything today, which is a good job, because I'm not a salesman. In fact, no money can change hands today because I can't sell you a place on the VIP. The VIP is by application only. So what I'm going to do is, in a few moments, I'm going to ask Adam and Trina to give out the application forms so that you can have a look at them and perhaps think about filling them in as I tell you about the VIP. But the VIP is by application only because Rob and Mark don't want to take your money if it's not right for you and if you're not right for the VIP. Because if it's not right for you, it's going to be a waste of your time and money. And if you're not right for the VIP, then it's going to be a waste of their time. It's not for everybody, and I'll tell you who it is for and who it isn't for in a moment. But if you want to, if as we go through this you think it is for you, then fill in the form and hand it in today, and there are very good reasons why you'd want to hand your form in today. So, Adam, Trina, would you mind just giving the forms out? Thank you. The forms will come out now as I sort of tell you a little bit more about it. But let me just tell you a little bit about my story and why I'm still here 16 months after attending a JV day like you're attending today. My story. But fast forward to today and things are very different. I have a substantial portfolio in the northeast with 63 properties, and I'm able to live off the income that that portfolio produces, what you could call I'm now financially free. And property allows me to do a load of fun stuff. As well as having the portfolio, I do some buying and selling and some trading and some flipping and refurbing on the side. But I also do a lot of writing in property. I write for a couple of newsletters, and I write occasionally for the Progressive website, and I write for Property Secrets blog, and I write for the Landlord Zone blog. And the reason why that all started is when I started investing for myself some 14, 15 years ago, I realised that there was no information available for people like me, what you could call buy-to-let investors. Now at that time it probably wasn't very surprising because buy-to-let was in its infancy. And there were no training companies like Progressive around at that time to give everybody the information they needed. So at the time all the books were really aimed at a more academic level. And it was really serious stuff about sort of commercial property investing and aimed at institutional investors. So there was nothing for people like me. So I decided to write the book. I mean, it's hard to imagine, isn't it? But back then there was no Amazon and there was no Google. But I put together a book for what you could call the buy-to-let market. And it was called An Insider's Guide to Successful Property Investing. And it did very well. And on the back of that I wrote some more books, and they sold many thousands of copies. And I also ended up writing a very successful and well-received home study course on property investing. But when I came here 16 months ago and Rob was explaining the VIP program and how it works, I realised there was an opportunity for me to actually go to the next level, which is to take all the knowledge that I've amassed over the years and which were in my books, and to start training people to do property investing. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how you could do that and the benefits to you of doing that in a moment as well, because that's one of the many benefits of being part of the VIP program. So the Progressive Property VIP JV Angel Network and Mastermind Alliance Investors Club is the full name for the VIP programme, but we just call it the VIP for short. It's obviously a good job. And the VIP is not a course. I just want to make that really clear. The VIP is not a course. It's a programme. So let me tell you a little bit about how it works. Well, the VIP is a rolling programme for 12 months. And because it's rolling, and because it's been running for coming up 4 years now, it means that you can join at any time. So, potentially, you could sign the application form and hand it in today, and if you're accepted onto the VIP, you could be starting next week or next month. So it may be that you don't want to start for a couple of months, maybe because you've got a few things to sort out before you join. That's absolutely fine. You can join in 3 or 4 months. Because it's rolling, you can just jump in at any time. But I still suggest that you fill the form in today, and there's going to be good reasons for that, which I'll explain later. And what I should also say is that when you fill in the form and hand it in today, what will happen is that your application will be reviewed and assessed by the team, and they will give you a call over the next couple of days. And if you are accepted into the programme, then payment will be taken at that stage. So the VIP is either on the first Tuesday or the third Wednesday of each month. Adam, how are we doing at the moment for places? Okay, so at the moment the third Wednesday is completely full. So we're looking at, we've got 7 spaces, you say? 7 places at the moment on the first Tuesday. Now I have to say that if, for example, Tuesday night is your pub quiz night, or your bridge night, or whatever you get up to on a Tuesday night, you just cannot make a Tuesday night, then it's possible that we could squeeze 1 or 2 people in on the Wednesday. But you'd have to let us know today so that we can start sort of making arrangements around that. But basically we're looking at the 7 places on the Tuesday night at the moment. And there are 2 levels. There's the gold level and then there's the Rob or Mark level. And what I mean by that is you can choose to be mentored one-on-one by either Rob or Mark, or you can go into the gold level where you will have one of the other in-house experts, property experts, who will be available to mentor you. Now, you can join at either level, but broadly speaking, probably the gold level is more appropriate for people who are sort of beginning to intermediate, and the Rob and Mark level is probably more if you're looking at doing more experienced, if you're more experienced and want to do perhaps more sophisticated investments like converting pubs into HMOs or commercial office buildings into flats. But it doesn't matter, if you're a beginner and you want to be mentored by Rob and Mark, that's absolutely fine as well. That's entirely your choice. But as we've seen, there are waiting lists and limited places. Adam, what's the waiting list for being mentored by Rob and Mark at the moment? Okay, so there's a 4-month waiting list at the moment to be mentored by Rob and Mark. So if you're interested in being mentored one-on-one by either Rob or Mark, you need to get the application form in as soon as you can so that you can get into that waiting list and move along the waiting list. So let me tell you a little bit about how it works. Well, the good news is that if you're accepted onto the VIP, you get to come back to Peterborough every month. But it's not just for people who are local to Peterborough or people who like Peterborough. It's a UK-wide programme, and there's people that come from all over the country. They come from Scotland, they come from the north of England, they come from Cornwall. I know there's people who fly down from Scotland. I know there's somebody who drives for 5 hours to get here from Cornwall. They come from far and wide. And the reason and they even come internationally. There's people who fly over from Ireland and they fly over from Holland. And the reason why they do that is because they know and understand the value of being part of the VIP programme, and particularly the community, being able to tap into that community, being able to tap into all that experience, and the value of being mentored, and the value of being held accountable. All the things we were thinking about when we were talking about the Mastermind Alliance a few minutes ago. And although it's a 12-month programme, you'll find that many, if not most, if not all of the VIP members renew after their 12 months because they, by that time, really appreciate the value of being part of the programme. And I'm going to show you some figures in a moment which will show you the amount of business that's transacted through the VIP, and you'll understand why they're so eager to renew. And it's probably the most active JV community in the UK. It's hard to put a figure on because a lot of deals happen which we don't know about. But we estimate that probably over the last 4 years, something like £100 million has sort of changed hands between the various VIP members when they've been doing JV deals. So if you're thinking today, on the JV day, where are you going to find JV finance? And I'm going to show you some places and means of raising JV finance in the last session when I finish telling you about the VIP. But if you're wondering where you can find JV finance, then probably the first place to start looking is here in Peterborough, in Progressive, but particularly on the VIP programme. Now, if you're interested, and you've got the forms, you want to fill them in while I'm talking, that's absolutely fine. If you're interested, there are various payment options. You can pay in full, or you can have stage payments. Paying in full in advance is a slightly cheaper way of doing it. And the truth is that if you really want to do something, then I'm sure you'll find the money to do that, and the VIP is no exception. But we want to help you to be able to jump on board with us. So if it would help you to make stage payments, then that can be arranged as well. So when you come on a Tuesday afternoon stroke evening, or a Wednesday afternoon or evening, what's going to happen? Well, one of the main things that's going to happen is that you're going to meet your mentor. Now, when you first come here, you will be allocated a mentor for the evening, and they will sit down with you and they'll help you decide on your property and your financial goals and targets, and then they'll help you to decide on the best actions that you need to take to achieve those property and financial goals and targets. And month by month you will come back and see your mentor, and they will review progress with you, they will review your actions with you, and they will help you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve in property. Now, those sessions last roughly around 45-50 minutes, maybe an hour at a push, which is plenty of time to put the plan together and to review progress and to help you keep on track. And at the gold level, there's a number of different mentors that you can see. You don't have to see the same mentor every month if you don't want to. That means that if you have a particular interest in a particular aspect of property investing, then you can choose the mentor who is best suited for you. So, for example, we have Trevor, who's an expert on doing lease options. There's Ian Wallace, who's a property tax expert. If perhaps by month 5 you want to start thinking about how to sort your taxes out because your property business is growing, now's the time to sort that out. You perhaps book an evening with Ian and talk to him. And so there's experts in different particular fields of property investing. You can talk to Mark Phillips about how to source properties and so on. So you can chop and change as you feel fit, or you can stick to one mentor. The choice is entirely yours, but there's a lot of flexibility and it gives you the opportunity to tap into a lot of collective experience. The key thing that the mentors are going to do is, going back to what we were thinking about a few minutes ago, is they're going to keep you accountable. And that is just so important, as we've already recognised, making sure that there's somebody looking over your shoulder to make sure that you do the things that you know that you need to do. But when you come here, you're also going to be given loads of valuable information which is going to help you in your property journey. So there's group coaching, for example. There's a round table every month where one of the in-house experts will have a round table discussion which you can sit in on. You can listen to the information that they're giving, and they'll be giving you updated information on the market or the law or different ways of doing property, and you can sit there and listen and ask questions. And at every monthly meeting there's a keynote speaker who will be invited to come and talk about a particular aspect of property, which will be a great help and great value to the VIP community. And as well as all of that, of course, you'll be here with your fellow VIPers. You'll be able to network, you'll be able to exchange information, you'll be able to exchange knowledge, and most importantly, you'll be able to start looking for those JV partners who perhaps you're sitting there at the moment thinking, well, where am I going to find a JV partner? Well, here, once a month, you'll have the chance to talk to like-minded people who want to achieve the kinds of things that you want to achieve, and maybe you can collaborate and work with them to achieve those things. So who is the VIP for, and who is it not for? Well, it's definitely not for anybody who thinks that they know it all. I've been in property for over 30 years, and I'm a chartered surveyor by training, but there's no way that I'd ever consider that I know it all, because I know that I don't, and I know that I can't. The market is constantly changing. The law is constantly changing. And the techniques and the strategies that we use to invest in property are constantly changing, partly because we're adapting to those changes in the market and the changes in the law. But there's so many different ways now of investing in property that it would be almost impossible, I think, to keep on top of it, unless it was your full-time job of trying to research the market and keep in the loop. And one of the many things I love about being part of the progressive community and being a VIP member in particular is the way that I can leverage Rob and Mark and keep up to date with all the information on what I need to know. So definitely, if you're somebody who thinks that you know it all, then this is not going to be for you. It's not for the neckheads or the vampires. What do I mean by that? Well, if you go onto the property forums and you see all those negative people, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But it may be that at home, amongst your circle of friends or family, or maybe even with your partner or spouse, maybe you're not feeling as fully supported as you could be. Maybe that there's some negative comments. Maybe, in a well-meaning way, there's people in your life who are saying, well, don't get involved with property. What's going to happen when interest rates go up? Oh, don't get into property. The property market's going to crash. That can be very distracting, and it can put a lot of people off. It can stop you achieving what you can achieve. So the progressive community is a place where you will find like-minded people who are going to encourage and support and inspire you. Now, I'm not talking about sort of being delusional about it. I mean, we've all got to be a little bit cynical to protect ourselves. Being a little bit cynical is being smart. But we know that we can make it in property, and we don't need to hear all the negative chit-chat, particularly when it's negative chit-chat which isn't based on reality. And so if you're a negative person who's negative about property and you don't really think that property is the way forward, then this isn't going to be for you. But if you're a beginner and you're just starting out in property, then the VIP definitely is for you. And I don't know whether you're already in property, I don't know whether you've already bought perhaps 1 or 2 or 3 properties and you want to expand your portfolio, or whether you're still at the stage of just buying your first property. If you're a beginner or about to begin, or a relative newbie, then the progressive VIP is definitely for you. For all the reasons we've talked about, because you can have a mentor who's been on the journey that you've been on, who can help you get through that journey a lot more quickly and a lot more easily perhaps than they did, and give you the support and the guidance that you need. I didn't have any of that when I started. I didn't have the access to the education. If I'd been able to join something like the Progressive VIP 14 years ago, I'm sure I'd be much further ahead in my property journey than I am now. So I can see the absolute value of it. But it's not just for beginners. It's also for investors who are very experienced. I've said that if you want to, you can join at the Rob and Mark mentoring level. Now, Rob and Mark are obviously highly experienced in property, and their specialisation at the moment is doing commercial deals, like turning pubs into HMOs, like turning offices into flats. And if that's the kind of level that you're at, or if that's the kind of level that you're aspiring to, then the VIP is also for you. It's a very broad range of investors that we have, and that's one of the great things about it. There's such a wide range of people of different experiences and with different sets of knowledge, and we can all contribute to the community and all help each other along. So wherever you're at, it's definitely for you. It's definitely for people who've done courses before but who haven't felt the love. And you probably know the courses that I'm talking about, but I'm not going to name names. We all know the people who will take your money, put you through a course and then drop you as soon as the course finishes. Well, that won't happen here, because one of the things which the VIP will give you is access to telephone and email support. So you're not going to feel that you've been dropped. Far from it. You're going to have your hand held and you're going to be helped along. And it's definitely for people who are go-getters, people who are serious about property. If you're serious about trading in your job and going full-time in property, then this is a resource that you definitely need, because you're going to find so much within the VIP which is going to help you to achieve that goal. And it's not just about taking. We want you to be part of the community because we know that you have so much to give us. We want to hear about your dreams and your aspirations and your experiences and your knowledge, and see you sharing it with other people in the VIP. So, when you come on the VIP, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the 12 monthly VIP Inner Circle meetings with a resident property expert, training advanced strategies. Now, I've already mentioned that there'll be the roundtable sessions and there'll be the keynote speakers. And one thing that Rob is very keen for is that the VIP members get the best knowledge and the most up-to-date knowledge, because the VIP members are the most committed members within the progressive community. And so if there's any new knowledge, if there's any new techniques, new strategies, changes to the law, changes to the market, you're going to hear about it first at the VIP through the different ways that the information is disseminated, through the roundtable, through the keynote speeches, through your mentors. You're going to get it here months ahead of other progressive community members and months ahead of anybody who's not part of the progressive community. And so the things that, and the topics and the subjects that you'll be hearing about are things like deal packaging, how to sort your taxes out and reduce your taxes, advanced sourcing and property negotiation, how to raise JV finance, how to do lease options, and so on and so on. All the new innovations and market opportunities that come along, you're going to hear them here first. Plus, you're going to get full access to all the progressive advanced level mentoring content for free for life. What do I mean by that? Well, you'll get free access to the progressive website. You'll get free access to all of the online communities. Now, I have to say there's an immense amount of value in being a part of the online communities, because a lot of the deals that are done online. The progressive Facebook page, for example, is where a lot of deals start out. Deals are offered, or people request JV finance, maybe as a post on the Facebook page, followed up probably by private messaging. That's got an immense value, and a lot of deals are done that way. But you'll also get free access to all the progressive networking events as well. There's about 37 networking events held monthly around the country, organised by Progressive Property, and you'll get access, free access, whilst you're a VIP member, to your local property networking group, which means that you can meet, again, like-minded people. You can go and hear keynote speakers, all sorts of benefits from that. And of course, I've already told you that one of the major benefits of being in the VIP is your monthly one-to-one strategy review with your expert mentor who will keep you accountable. So much value in that, but I'm sure you realise that already. And in fact, once a month there's also an online mentoring session where one of the resident experts within Progressive will run an online coaching call online, which you can attend, where you can pick up more information, where you can be taught a particular new innovative strategy, and where you can ask questions, which means that during the month you actually have access to 2 lots of coaching and mentoring. Now, here's one of the big ones, and this is, well, it was a big one for me, and you'll understand why when I explain this to you. But you will also get to attend for free all the trainer clinics that happen before the mentoring sessions, either on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Rob has literally spent tens of thousands of pounds being taught how to be a public speaker. It's no accident that he's so good at it. He's been taught by people like Andy Harrington, and he's also taught by the one-time #1 in the world public speaker, Craig Valentine. And Rob is very keen for all of the knowledge and experience that he's built up in public speaking to disseminate down to the VIP membership. Why? Because quite simply, Progressive want to increase their business. Rob wants to increase the amount of business that Progressive can do, and so he's looking for trainers to do the training. And as part of that journey, the starting point is to attend the free Train the Trainer clinics, which happen before the mentoring sessions each Tuesday and Wednesday, and you can go to them all. For example, if your day is Tuesday, you can still come and attend the Train the Trainer clinics on the Wednesday, for example, so you can do them all. And potentially there's something like 48 in a year that you can attend, and you can start picking up on all of that knowledge that Rob wants to share. Now, I started in the Train the Trainer clinics, and I'm now stood here before you today presenting the JV Day, and that's in just over a year. So it just goes to show what can happen if you want to go on that journey. And the obvious benefit to that is it's another income stream, and it is realistically possible to earn a six-figure salary teaching. Now, I don't know whether you'd want to teach a particular aspect of property investing that interests you, or whether perhaps you're an expert in your own right in a field not related to property. Either way, you'll be able to use all this training to do your own talks or to train within Progressive. I'm aiming for at least £100,000 over the next 12 months, and I think that's very possible. And if you wanted to do that, that's very possible for you too, because I know that Rob wants to expand the training side of Progressive quite dramatically. But the benefit just beyond the money is, as we were talking about with Peter Ivaniszewski, that once you're up here on stage training, you are the expert, you're the perceived expert. And once you're the perceived expert, you will have people coming to you with deals, you will have people coming to you with finance and asking you if you can help them spend their money. Does anybody like the sound of that? Yes. Well, that's what can happen. That's why being a trainer is so valuable, not just for the income, but because of the potential business opportunities that can arise from that. So, perhaps your speciality or your interest is in deal packaging. Well, become an expert on that and teach on that. And I'm sure that within the Progressive community you could teach that and earn very good money for teaching that. Certainly, if you want to aspire to be a future trainer, Train the Trainer clinics is the place to start. And once you get onto that journey, then the opportunities to JV with Progressive will open up more and more and more, as I found while I'm standing in front of you today. And it'll help you to build your own brand, which, as I say, will potentially bring you a lot of business and help you to earn potentially a six-figure income. Now, it all depends on how far you want to take it. If you just want to dabble, you're not going to earn six figures. But if you want to put yourself in it very seriously and devote yourself to this, then in a very short space of time it could. And it says on the slide that you could earn a six-figure income within sort of 9 to 20, just doing 9 to 25 days of training a year. Very possible indeed, and certainly something which I'm aiming to do. So how do we put a value on all this? It's incredibly hard to put a value on something like this. But I suppose ultimately it comes down to how much value would you put on it. But if you think about it, if you do just one deal in the first few months on the VIP, that could earn you 25, 30, 35,000 pounds, more maybe, depending upon what it is and where it is. That's easily achievable, isn't it? One deal. I'm sure you'll agree. But we've tried to put some figures on. Let me just quickly run through them for you. So, the advanced training sessions at the monthly VIP, 8,364. The advanced level monthly JV membership site, 5,880. Now that's over a 10-year period, so they're basically saying £588 a year. But as I said, a lot of the business, a lot of the JV business starts out or starts off on the Facebook page, and so I actually think it's worth more than that. The 12 monthly one-to-one personal strategy meetings, 3,588. Well, again, I think that having a mentor and having somebody to hold you accountable is priceless, and I think that that's actually putting a very cheap value on it. I think it's worth a lot more than that to have somebody who will hold you accountable and help you on your way. Multiple streams of income and PP events. Well, there are 2 multiple streams of property income events each year held here at Peterborough. They're both 3-day trainings. You get to attend both of those for free. So you get 6 days of live training here in Peterborough for free, plus the VIP access to the networking meetings in your locality where you can hear keynote speakers and network with local investors. Again, £2,000. There's the 48 Train the Trainer days or clinics, 12,716. Probably worth a lot more than that when you think about what that can lead to, as I'll talk about in a moment. Then there's the 12 monthly online VIP mentoring sessions, 2,400. And the chance to earn as a property trainer, as I say, £12,716 worth of clinics to help you earn £100,000 a year, which seems a bargain, I'm sure you'll agree. So the realistic value, which probably I think is unrealistic because I think the mentoring side of it and the accountability side of it is worth so much more. But the realistic value that we've put on it is just under £35,000. But that £35,000 is potentially going to help you to do just under £1 million worth of property deals a year, as I will explain in a moment. But it's not just about the obvious financial benefits that you'll get from the VIP. As part of the community, you're going to have access to people who you wouldn't normally have access to. And just think what that can be worth, just being able to tap into that knowledge and experience and possibly JV and cooperate with people who you wouldn't have otherwise have had that access to. And I know it's a bit of a cliche, but property can be a lonely business. I've been in property for over 30 years, and I've been investing for myself for the last 14 years. And I've really been investing in property as a one-man band. And I know how it can feel when you're on your own and things perhaps aren't going your way, but you've got nobody to talk to about it, nobody who you can sort of tap for experience or knowledge. And one of the things which has really been brought home to me just by being part of the VIP programme here is how different it is when you're not on your own and what a difference that can make. And I've been so inspired and encouraged and motivated, and I think motivation is so important if you want to achieve your property goals. And I've been so motivated being part of the VIP just by hearing the stories of what other people have achieved. People who've got far less experience than me in property are going and doing some amazing things, and that really fires me up, and it's been worth every penny just to hear those stories and not to feel that I'm on my own. It's completely opened my eyes to all the different possibilities and opportunities out there which I would otherwise not have known about. And it's not just about business, there's also a social side to it. Many great friendships have been struck up at the VIP as people have networked and as they've worked together and cooperated together. And so it's not all just about business. For example, there are regular VIP holidays, and the VIPers went off to New York this year for a few days and had a tour organised by Progressive in New York, and they all had a wonderful time. But the one thing it is all about, and I want to keep stressing this because you're here at the JV Day today, and as I say, you might be wondering where you're going to find JV Finance and Partners. This is a real hub of JV activity. And as I say, probably around about £100 million worth of JV finance has been through different people's hands in the VIP over the last few years. And this is the view that you could have quite soon, if you decide to go to the trainer route. This could be your view of when you start doing your first trainings and when you start earning your six-figure income in training, if that's the way you want to go. I mean, who here would like to be perceived as the expert? Who here would like to have leverage that to increase their property business? Yeah, who here would like to have people coming to them with ideas and proposals and deals and finance? Yes, and that could easily happen when you're up on stage taking my place. And here's a photo of some of the happy JVers being interviewed by Rob at the Super Conference in 2013 and sharing their success stories. And I'm just going to share with you now why they're looking so happy. Now, I have to say that when I first saw this figure on the screen, I really thought that somebody had made a typo and that they put an extra naught on by mistake. But what you're reading is absolutely correct. The average yearly property portfolio bought by Progressive VIPs between 2009 and 2013 was £307 million. That's each year. That's not the total in those 4 years. That's each year. That's the average for each of those 4 years. The Progressive community did £307 million pounds worth of business. Now that's over 300 VIPs, admittedly, but when you start doing that level of business, it's completely life-changing. So, for example, Tracy, who was in software, really wanted to get out of her job. Within 2.5 years of being a VIP member, she'd left her job and she's now full-time in property, and she actually runs one of the progressive networking events. And then there's Andy Churchill, who, like myself, is a chartered surveyor, and joining the VIP took his business to the next level. And he's now putting together large development sites and operating at a completely different level from where he was before. So it can be completely life-changing. And here's why. That £307 million per year represents an average of just under £1 million worth of properties bought per VIP member over that 4-year period. Also nine properties each on average. Now, of course, that's an average, so that means that some have done better, some not quite so well. But as an average, I think you'll agree that that's quite an astounding achievement. And when you look at it in that perspective, 35 grand actually is not a big price to pay to be part of a community where, if you do the things that other people are doing, you should be able to do just under £1 million worth of business each year. So, just as a quick summary, 34,950 is the value for all of those things. But I'm sure you knew before I started talking that that wasn't the price that I was going to be offering the VIP at today. Because this is an event, and because the event prices are usually lower because you're here, you're showing your commitment, today you could join at the Rob and Mark level for £25,000 or the gold member level at £14,900. But I just want to make clear that that is the real price. If you rang tomorrow, if you rang the office and said, I didn't fill my form in yesterday, can I join? That is the price you'd have to pay. That's the office price. And around about 10% of our VIP members come to us that way, and they pay that full price of £25,000 at the Rob and Mark level and £14,900 at the gold level. But I want to make it even more valuable for you. And so if you fill in your form today and hand it into the team before you leave tonight, you'll also get access to two-day Elite Property Cash Flow Accelerator weekend workshops. So that's an extra 4 days of property training, but this is training which is only for VIP members. If you're not a VIP member, you will not be invited and you will not be able to attend. Now this has a value of just under 4 grand, 2 grand per weekend. You get to come for free. And again, it's another opportunity not just for the networking, not just for raising JV finance, although it is undoubtedly that, but again, this is another opportunity to be trained by experts in the latest from the property market, the latest techniques and strategies and innovations. This is where another opportunity for you to get the latest up-to-date information. So as a quick recap, 25 grand for the Rob and Mark level, 14,900 for the gold level. Oops, my clicker's not working. That's better. But I want to completely de-risk this for you and make it a really easy decision for you to make. Because if you sign today and so get your form in, I can offer you a double your money back full guarantee. So what does that mean? Well, it means this basically. If within the 12 months of the VIP, if you follow the VIP program, if you sit down with your mentor, work on your plan, and you action the plan that you come up with your mentor, if you do not at least make double the money that you invest in the VIP program, you won't just get your money back, you'll get double your money back. So that completely de-risks this for you, and I hope it makes it a lot easier for you to say, yes, I want to be part of the VIP. So we're looking at 25 grand for the Rob and Mark level, we're looking at 14,900 for the gold level, but if, as I say, you want help with that. If you want to pay by stage payments, that's absolutely fine. We can help you with that if that makes it easier for you. Plus, I also forgot to say, actually, that if you have a partner, a business partner, or a spouse, or a life partner, and you'd like them to be on the VIP with you, then they can come along at half that price. So they would pay half of that price, which means that between the two of you, you'll be eligible for an 82% discount on the original value that we put on the VIP. Now, they've got to be a genuine partner, and it can't just be somebody who you met over a tea break. We know who you are, we've been watching you, but if they're a genuine business partner or a genuine life partner or spouse, then they can come. But because Rob wants committed people, I can do even better than that, but just for today. If you apply today, if you fill in the form and hand it in, I can do it for this price. £14,900 for the Rob and Mark, and £5,995 for the gold membership. And just think, as I said, if you just do one deal over the next couple of months, you could possibly make £25,000, £30,000, £35,000 or more. So this is practically giving it away. But I'm going to make it even better than that, because just for today, I have Rob's permission that if you apply today, and if you're accepted, for the first 7 people who get their forms in and who are accepted, you can have 2 free days of any training from the Progressive Catalogue. So, for example, if you wanted to do the deal packaging course, which is a 2-day course, you can do that for free. Or if you want to do the estate agency course, which is a 1-day course, you could do that for free, and possibly do the lease options course, which is a 1-day course. You can do them both for free. Or maybe you want to do the masterclass, which is a 4-day course, but you can do that at half price and have 2 of those days free. But that's only for the first 7. Why 7? Because there's 7 places left on the Tuesday at the moment, and we want to fill those places. Why? Because we're a community, and we know that you've got a lot to offer the community, and we want those places filled by you. So I want to make it really easy for you to say yes today. So, for the first 7 who fill in the forms and hand them in today, and who are successfully accepted onto the programme, you'll get 2 free days of training, as well as all the other things that you get by being on the VIP. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes now to fill in the form and hand it in to Adam and Trina, and then when you've done that, after we've had a little bit of a break for a couple of minutes, when you do that, we'll have a look at the last session, which is how and where to find your JV Finance. Thank you very much.